Calgary has to keep thinking big, though. We are an Olympic city. This city has become one of the greatest energy hubs in the world with a vibrant and growing cultural, arts, and sporting scene. And that's why we need to keep on investing in this city's infrastructure. Totally. Finishing the ring road, expanding the Deerfoot, building out a world-class transit system, and yes, we need a new hockey arena and an event center. And we are also working with the city to help fund a tie-in of the LRT's Blue Line into the Calgary International Airport, and will continue to invest in expanding the LRT to serve more Calgarians for the future. I must tell you, yeah, please clap about that. I'm so excited about it. We will be building or expanding 11 schools in the city, representing over 12,000 new spaces for students, and will be pouring investment into Calgary's new cancer center, the Peter Lougheed, a new North Calgary Airdrie Regional Health Center, and many other healthcare facilities. And yes, these are big projects, but this is a big world-class city. And that means we must invest in the infrastructure that will drive economic growth, tourism, and quality of life that make Calgary a premier international destination to live, to work, and to visit. Now, I know this may take you as a bit of a surprise, and you may not have heard it yet, but there is going to be a provincial election coming up in a couple of months. Oh, I guess you have heard it. And my friends, I tell you, elections do matter. They have consequences. And I would say that this election, in particular, will have ramifications with the direction and the success this province will take, potentially, for decades to come. There are critically important differences between the UCP and an NDP government. And voters will be presented with a clear choice and need to be reminded of the potential consequences because there is so much at stake. Canada, with Alberta as a senior partner, has the potential to become a global energy superpower, with all of the economic and political influence for good that such standing would grant us. There are literally hundreds of billions of dollars in public revenues and investments, millions of jobs riding on Alberta and Ottawa, working together on this issue instead of in conflict. It's time to make this happen. And to Mr. Trudeau, we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. But either way, we're going to do it the Alberta way. And in this election, Albertans have to decide, who do they trust to protect and advance the interests and the future of this province with Ottawa? The UCP, under my leadership, with my great team, or Rachel Notley's NDP? Well, in case I haven't convinced all of you, let me continue on this. One need only look at recent history to see what the job Ms. Notley did in protecting Alberta's interests when she was Premier. In short, she didn't. She brought in a carbon tax, which we now can't get rid of, and which is going to be increased again by the Liberal NDP coalition in Ottawa on April 1st, which will drive up the cost of everything we need to live and raise our families. She capitulated and collaborated with every destructive policy Ottawa could conceive of and oversaw one of the worst flights of investment and jobs from our province in our history. And as many of you know, it was actually Alberta's NDP government that first pushed the policy of just transition well before Justin and Jagmeet. It was literally a key component of the NDP's climate leadership plan. Albertans can't afford more NDP carbon taxes or their planned ban on heat and electricity from natural gas, which will drive up the cost of food and fuel and utilities. Albertans do not believe the NDP policies of energy and food security are what we need in this province. They want a government that understands that economic growth, affordability, responsible environmental stewardship are not mutually exclusive, but they are entirely compatible and mutually beneficial. And Albertans can't afford tens of billions in debt, and billions in finance charges that eat away at the much-needed funds for healthcare and education and policing. Albertans demand sound fiscal management, prioritize spending on Albertans' priorities, and a concerted effort to pay down the Rachel Notley-era debt. That, my friends, is what the UCP and I have to offer.